Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago, and this morning we're shifting our focus and we have a little health segment for you. And joining us on set we have Pauline and Brian Phelps, and we're talking about the truth about family planning. They're also having a seminar that's taking place on the date, and all of the information will come up shortly. Good morning, thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning, Amy.
Now, Pauline, let me start with you. When people use the term family planning, what exactly are they referring to?
Well, the first thing they usually think about is having to take something to plan their families. But this is why we're having this seminar, to show them that it's not that there's the only options out there is to have to take something. There's a natural method that is reliable, that is highly effective, and is scientifically proven. That is available here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, looking at the concept of family planning and getting persons involved, why do you think there is this is there a hesitation for people to understand the concept and actually properly engage in family planning?
Yes, I believe there are couples who want to have children and want to space their children as recommended, 2 to 3 years apart and so forth. Yes, I believe there's that niche.
Now, Brian, looking at the concept of family planning, when people think family planning, all they think about is properly planning when you're going to have children.
Yes.
You know, that's just the basic understanding of what family planning is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you also have to realize that you have to plan the times when you're not going to have children and what you're going to do during those times.
Now, you're also looking at there are various types of birth control as well out there. How does that factor into family planning?
Well, that's what we are hoping to share with people, that, you know, there are options out there. We respect that. But this option is completely natural. There's no drugs involved, no devices. As I said, it's highly effective. And this method, unfortunately, when it comes to natural methods, people have a lot of myths and untruths that they have to come against.
Right.
So this is why we're having this seminar, the truth about family planning, sexual and reproductive health.
And this method, as you refer to, an all-natural method, is what exactly?
It's the Billings Ovulation method of natural fertility regulation. It's a natural way to achieve pregnancy, postpone pregnancy, and or for women to monitor their reproductive health.
And what is the greatest myth about this type of family planning, or this type of contraception, I could say? Right.
The greatest myth is unreliable, when in truth and in fact it is 99% effective in the postponement or avoiding a pregnancy once used properly. And the World Health Organization, in fact, has recognized several studies done by Womb International, where they have recognized that it is highly effective, and 99% effective, in fact. And in China, even, it is in the health center in China because of that effectiveness.
Now, this is completely natural, being what? That you don't take any sort of drugs at all. So it's simply just monitoring your cycle.
Yes, it's monitoring your cycle. But you see, at the time of Aristotle, people knew about a red flow and a white flow, but they didn't know much about the white flow. What Dr. Billings did back in the 1950s is to basically develop that information about the white flow, which is the cervical mucus coming from the woman. And that information that comes from the woman every cycle, very natural. It gave a lot of information, in fact, about the natural times of fertility and infertility in the woman.
Now, this method is simply about monitoring, but it cannot be used to treat infertility, can it?
It actually is used for women who are subfertile. It has a fantastic success rate in women who are subfertile. In fact, we have a study done that said it was 63% effective in subfertile women.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the seminar and what persons can expect when attending.
Well, they can certainly expect the truth. As I said, we're going to dispel the myths, you know, uncover the untruths, and as I said, the effectiveness of the method, the history of the method, how it augurs well for relationships. Certainly this method is a couple's method when it comes to family planning, in that for it to work well, for it to be successful, the couple really need to cooperate, they need to communicate, and they need to be generous. So it pushes them in their relationship to actually work together as a team in their family planning.
Cooperate and be generous. I don't think most couples will understand that. What exactly are we talking about?
Okay, well, we're talking about the idea is that, the woman identifies her time of fertility and infertility by what she observes, right? So the man needs to cooperate with that. And so, in fact, my husband here does my charting. So at the end of the day, when she's done her observations, he's aware of what's happening in her body. And so there's a great deal of cooperation, a great deal of communication, which again augurs well for relationships. And as I said, it can certainly improve relationships. In fact, we have a study from Chicago that said couples who practice natural family planning, their divorce rates are 0.2% in that study.
Brian, speak to all the men out there who may be a little hesitant to participate in this, because a lot of people are going to say, I don't know about that.
Well, the man obviously doesn't have to do any observation. He just has to simply, at the end of the day, ask his wife what she observed, whether she was dry, wet, or whatever the observation is. Of course, when you learn the method, you will learn what these things mean. So you simply ask your wife at the end of the day what you observe, and then there's a chart that you can either get online or through the organization, where you write what your wife has observed, and depending on the chart, you know whether your wife is likely to in her infertile phase or whether she is fertile.
Your closing comments to Trinidad and Tobago. What would you like them to know about the seminar, and why should they attend?
Well, the seminar, as I said, will uncover the truth about this natural method, the Billings Ovulation method, and I really hope they take advantage of this option, which is available. As I said, it could improve the couple relationship. It can augur well for not just the couple, but their family, and bringing peace to the home. And I hope that people follow the natural law better, because the natural law is a manual for humans' happiness.
In-house question, actually. The signs of fertility and signs of infertility in a woman, how would they know the difference?
Well, let's put it like this. It's like the wet season and the dry season. The dry season is considered the infertile time. The wet season is like our fertile time. So ladies, when you know that there's a time of fertility, when you feel that wetness, when sometimes you go to the washroom and you realize that there is some discharge there, we help the woman to understand what this is about. And so once they know that, then we're in business.
My producer is also asking me to put the question forward, and this is also coming in from our email, about the time of having intercourse, if that makes a difference during the fertility period.
Yes, if it depends on the couple's plans. If they are planning to have a family or have a baby, then yes, during the time of fertility will be the time they'll try. Specifically, we'll tell them when. And for infertility, for times when they are postponing a pregnancy, they will focus on the times when she's infertile. So they basically abstain during the fertile time.
And also stress, how does that play? Even if there is a fertile period, can stress also play a factor as well?
Stress definitely plays a factor in a woman's body, just as so we have the wet season and dry season, as they say, and now we're seeing all sorts of wetness in the dry season. That's what it can do to a woman. So we help the woman to understand what is going on in her body, and so the couples are aware of that. And the method can still be used if a woman has irregular cycles, when the woman is coming off hormonal contraception, during breastfeeding, when a woman is considered, as I said, subfertile, and when a woman is approaching menopause as well.
So some quick facts there, and the information on the site to go on is also there. We take a very short break. When we come back, we'll have more for you. This is The Morning Brew. Stay with us.